What's up, Grovelanders?
We are in the kitchen, as you can see, because what are we making?
Fish and chips?
Yes, fish and chips from scratch. So we gotta prep the potatoes first, because I gotta soak in water for a little bit. It is the morning of when we're going to eat this, so I gotta do a little prep ahead of time. We'll probably make the tartar sauce as well ahead, so all those flavors can meld. So we got our russet potatoes. We just have to peel them and then wedge them into 1/2 inch thick wedges and soak them in water. You just gotta watch your fingers. Alright, all the peels are rinsed down, and there are the peeled potatoes. We're gonna cut these into 1/2 inch wedges. Always use a sharp knife. Alright, potatoes are all cut and soaking in water. We'll get them back out later when we're gonna make dinner. Alright, next thing we're gonna do is make our fancy tartar sauce. That's right, it's called fancy tartar sauce. So we've got our dill, parsley, chives, lemon, mayo, Dijon mustard. The pickles, it calls for kosher dill gherkins, not sweet gherkins, but I do like my tartar sauce a little sweet, so I do get a little relish to add to taste. And then our mixing bowl, we're gonna get this all put together so that can all, what do you call it? The flavors can marry? Is that what you say? The flavors can marry?
Marinate?
Marinate. There you go. Marinate. Alright, 1 of 2 cups of mayo going in. I'm going to double the tartar sauce recipe. Probably going to have a ton of leftover, but you never want to run out of tartar sauce. So we're going to zest a lemon. I've never zested a lemon before. Have you?
No.
Alright, I got the grater and the lemon. Let's see what happens. I wonder how deep you go. Ooh, it smells good. Do you like the smell of lemon?
Yes.
Come here and smell that.
Mmm.
Yummy. I guess you just keep doing this until all the yellow is gone. I think that's zest. Zest fully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zest fully clean. Do you know how to juice a lemon? You roll it like this to get it all mushy in there. It's slippery without any skin. It's a skinned lemon.
We're not to fall on the floor.
And then you cut it in half. We'll have to pick out the seeds.
Wait, isn't there don't we have a lemon thing?
Juicer?
Yeah.
I don't know. Your hands work. You just squeeze it and rub it together until all the juice stops coming out. Now we gotta pick out the seeds. Next thing we're gonna do is chop up the dilled gherkins. Now we're just 1.5 timesing this recipe, so it's just 3 tablespoons of chopped dilled gherkins. But then we are going to add some sweet relish just to make it a little sweet, because I like a little sweet in my tartar. Alright, what I ended up doing, this is about 3.5 tablespoons. I ended up taking about 1/2 tablespoon of just the dilled gherkins out, and 1 whole tablespoon of the sweet relish, so that we can add a little sweetness to the pickle. So that's about 3.5 tablespoons total right there, between the kosher dill gherkins all chopped up and a tablespoon of sweet relish. Add that to our stack of ingredients that we're going to be mixing all together. What I'm doing now is I've got all the herbs here: parsley, dill, parsley. I pulled out some parsley here, so I'm already got that chopped up. That is 1.5 tablespoons. It calls for 1, but we are 1.5 timesing this recipe. So we got the chives to do and the dill, and we're just going to throw it all in this bowl. Chopping chives. Ooh, I smell the onions. Smell the onion
Gonna make you cry?
No, they're gonna add a lot of flavor. Try not to cut your fingers off. Next up, we are chopping dill. It smells like pickles. So we basically just made a mess.
You still makes a
I'm gonna
mess.
pull these. You want the fine leaves, no stems. Just pull these little fine leaves off, leaving the big stems behind. Do you want to do some?
No. No, thank you.
It smells good. Alright, we got the Dijonnaise already in there. That was 1.5 tablespoons as well. 1.5 cups of mayo. Go ahead, what are you putting in next? All the herbs. Parsley, dill, and chive. Yeah, scrape it out with your finger. It smells good. Do you smell that? Do the pickles next. You're going to have to scrape. Alrighty. Now, just stir that before we put the lemon in. Alright, that's all stirred. In goes the lemon zest and juice. 1 whole lemon. I did not add a half to that because I'm a little skeptical about lemon. And it's already a little runny, and it's going to make it even more runny.
Yeah, that's really runny.
And then we're going to, it might thicken up in the fridge a little bit, but we're going to put that in the fridge, and the potatoes and the water in the fridge, and then come back when it's closer to making everything else. Alright, we're closer to dinner time now. These potatoes have been soaking in water for 6 or 7 hours, so we're ready to drain them, and then I've got paper towels laid out to dry them, and they can dry for a bit while I prep other things. I got some other ingredients here: flour, panko, olive oil, salt and pepper. So I got some other ingredients here ready to go for breading and frying. Potatoes are all drying. Next thing we're gonna do is mix our breading for the fish, because that's gonna take a minute. But just panko, breadcrumbs, and the same herbs that we put in the tartar sauce. So we're gonna chop up more fresh herbs, mix that in with the breading, so we're ready to go with our coating for the fish. Well, I used up all of the chive. It calls for 2 tablespoons. We are gonna double things because I have 6 fillets of haddock here for the fish, plus some of the chicken tenderloins. Melody will not eat the fish, so she's having the chicken. I'm gonna probably be a tablespoon short of chives, but it is what it is. All right, we've got our herbs all chopped up. This is 4 tablespoons, give or take, of each of the herbs. Chives, parsley, and dill. Right in with the panko, breading, and then just start mixing that up. Mix, mix, mix. I'm getting my 3 dipping steps set up here. You got the all-purpose flour. That calls for a 1/4 cup. Doubled it because we're going to be using more, and I got extra if I need it. And then there will be 2 eggs in there. And then this is the mixture of the breadcrumbs I just made with the extra right there. But now we got to prep some garlic, because this is going to be for the potatoes, or the chips if you will. Calls for 1 tablespoon of fresh garlic, minced. This is an entire head of garlic that I just broke up. I'm just going to prep it all because I never know how much I'm going to need or want to use. And honestly, any recipe that calls for garlic, I at least double the garlic. No joke. At least double the garlic. All right, we got all that garlic peeled. Now we got our handy dandy Pampered Chef garlic press. Oh yeah. I don't know if this is the proper way of using this press. This is the way I always do it. We're ready to bread the fish. We got our haddock there. We are using haddock because Colleen might be allergic to cod. We're not sure. We don't tempt it. She had a reaction when she was young, and she's never had it ever since, so I prefer haddock anyway. Love haddock. I did cut these. These were just 3 large fillets. This is wild caught from Costco. 1.6 pounds of haddock for 16 bucks. But I did cut them to more manageable fillets, and it gave me 6 fillets. So we're gonna flour, egg, and breadcrumb. Got half a cup of oil heating up here on the stove. It calls for canola oil. I only have olive oil, so olive oil it is. And while that is heating up, tossing the potatoes in olive oil and garlic. And I also have this seasoning. This recipe does not call for this, but I love this seasoning on potatoes and anything pretty much. Parmesan, black garlic, and truffle. It's like a powder. We're gonna put a little of that in there. The potatoes are all tossed and coated, and we are preheating the air fryer. Definitely not gonna fit all those potatoes in here, but we'll get as many as we can in the 2 layers that we have room for. Once that hits 400 degrees and those potatoes are cooking, then we will start frying the fish and chicken. So everything will be cooking kind of at the same time. According to this recipe, every 5 minutes, you're supposed to shake them. Whatever that means, I guess we're gonna find out. So 5 minutes, we're gonna shut this down, shake them, put them back in, another 5 minutes, shake them again, and in the meantime, fry some fish, somehow. Right, boy? All right, those first 2 fillets are in. They are frying up. I just flipped them over, golden brown. I think we might have a winner. All right, I got the chicken in now. Fish is all done, golden brown. Smells and looks delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, everything is all finished. Fish and chips, homemade tartar sauce. Did you dip it in tartar sauce?
Not yet. I wanted to taste the fish and chips.
It's the fish by itself. There's no salt because I wasn't sure about the seasonings.
Yeah. That tartar sauce.
I wasn't sure about the tartar sauce either because
You could probably sell that. I could.
I was skeptical because it called for a lot of lemon. But now I realize why, because now you don't even have to squeeze lemon on your fish.
That is good. Need salt. That's the only thing I would add.
I didn't add salt or pepper to anything while I was making it.
It's very delicious.
Bailed on me the rest of the cooking. Where were you? You left me alone.
Fresh shopping, that's what I was doing.
So, do you like it?
It's plain. Brown.
I did not salt or pepper anything. It's just the herbs that we made, remember?
Yeah.
And then I mix it with the breading. So, you can add salt if you want salt.
I don't want to put too much salt.
Or are you gonna dip it in something?
No.
Like ranch. Do you eat the chips?
Oh, the chips are damn good. Oh, they are.
Like you'd eat them every day?
Probably.
Do you like the chips better than the chicken?
No, I like the chicken better whenever I did it in the ranch.
You ate everything?
Yes.
Chicken and fish? Which was better?
I'm biased with chicken, so I'm gonna say chicken.
You like chicken better than fish anyway. And you don't normally like tartar sauce, but you did like that tartar sauce?
Yeah, I normally don't eat tartar sauce.
Because it had lemon flavor?
Yeah, there's way more lemon. I like lemons, so like way more lemon. I liked it more.
But you used ranch also?
I used the ranch for the chicken.
Oh. Did you try the chicken in the tartar sauce?
No, I tried the fish in the ranch, which was weird. I mixed it in too much and I accidentally ate fish with the ranch. I was like, that's not chicken.
So Colleen and I both agree that the best fish and chips we ever had was at Epcot at the fish and chip stand, because it also was not made with cod. It was some other thing, and I'll link that video down below because it's fish and chips, and it was kind of like our first time having it. This is definitely not as good as that, but this is pretty good. I will link the recipe down below. So the chips are really good too. I did add my own seasoning. That was the truffle powder seasoning while I was tossing it in the garlic and the oil to give it some other flavor. But as you heard, Melody loved it. It definitely needed salt after the fact. I didn't add any salt during the prep work. Other than that, the crispiness was on point. The flavor of the chips was on point. The tartar sauce was really on point. All in all, it was a good meal. I don't know if it's worth the time of all of that prep and cooking and now the dreaded cleanup. I'll just go get my fish and chips from Epcot. And that's gonna do it for our fish and chips extravaganza. I would say not the best fish and chips, but really good fish and chips. So give it a try if you want. Recipes down below. And I have no idea what we're gonna make next or test next. We're due for some taste testing. I have no idea what that's gonna be. But until then, last egg.